Hello again. So here we are again. We are doing the basics of Algebra 1, and this is the second worksheet in the basics, and it's called Find the Slope and the Y-intercept of each line. So here you've got two different examples that have been done for you. We're finding, I guess the second one hasn't been completely done, but it's been partially done. So we're going to find the slope and the y-intercept of each line. And you'll find as you're going through and doing the problems on the rest of the page that the slope and the y-intercept are written down like that. You just have to figure out what the numbers are, but you're given a place to write slope and y-intercept for each one. So first, we want to find out what the slope is. And you're given two dots on each one of the lines. So there are the two dots here on this line. And you'll see over on number 2 that there's a dot here and a dot here. And really what you're doing is you are finding the slope based on just those two lines. And the reason that they've chosen those two lines, you're not always going to be given two dots on lines. You might just have to figure it out after you learn this for a while. You'll just have to figure out which ones are the appropriate ones to choose, because you'll see that they cross at exactly the crosshairs of the graph. So that's why those locations were chosen. Now, granted, this is at all of these are also at a perfect crosshair. So this particular line, actually any one of these points on the crosshairs would have worked. But they gave you the points just to make it easier. So with the slope, we're always looking for the rise over the run. And I am going to highlight that because that is super important. When we're doing the slope, we are looking for the rise over the run. So here you can see we start at this bottom one. We are rising 2. And then if I go to a different color, and then we are running, we're going to the right 2 also. So that's where our rise of 2 comes from, is from that rise here of 2. So that's where this comes from, and that's a much bigger 2. And then the run is also 2, so we're going to make that there. So this is also 2 this way. We're counting 1, 2. So that is also 2. And then 2 divided by 2 means that the slope itself is 1, because 2 divided by 2 is 1. So the slope is 1. And then the other thing you're looking for is the y-intercept. The y-intercept literally just means where the line crosses the y-axis. So in this case, it crosses, if the y-axis is this whole thing, let me put this in a different color. So this whole thing is the y-axis. And you can see where the x-axis is, that's where y is 0. So that right there, that is where the line crosses the y-axis, and so it's the y-intercept is 0. So this is the basics of trying to understand how we graph and understand a line. So I'm going to go to the second one here too. We're going to finish this one as well, and then I'll let you finish the rest of them on your own. Oops. Okay. Sorry about that. So again, we're looking for the slope. The slope is the rise over the run. So we have our 2 points. And in this case, this talks about -4 and +4. So that's one way of doing it. But I'm going to show you also, if we do the rise this way first, we can go up like this 4. And then we can do the run this way to get a -4. And so here you can see it's exactly the same thing. So this time the rise is 4. I'm just going to write it down here. And the run is -4. Because we went to the left this time. So we rose 4, so it's +4. We went 4 to the left that time, but we ended up in the same place. And check this out. 4 divided by -4 is still -1. So the answer that we get here is actually the same as the answer that we got when we did it the other way in the example that's written on your page already. That time we took the top point and we went down for, that was our rise. It was a negative rise. We went down, and then we went to the right for the run, +4. So that's just showing you two different ways. They're both correct. They give you the same answer. You just have to make sure the rise goes on the top and the run goes on the bottom. It's to show you that it doesn't matter if you start on the bottom point and go up and then over to the other point, or if you start at the top point and go down and then over to the other one. Either one is fine. You just need to have the rise on the top, so the up and down on the top and the left to right on the bottom. So we know that our slope is -1 based on what we just did. And then the y-intercept, well, that's where the line crosses the y-axis. So let's draw our y-axis in again. So here's our y-axis. So where does our line cross the y-axis? I'm going to do that in a different color this time. So you can see the line is right here, and you can see it crosses the y-axis right there. So the y-axis, if we start counting at the x, we go up 1, 2, 3. So the y-intercept is 3. It crosses the y-axis at 3. And now we're done. So we found the slope and we found the y-intercept. That's all we needed to find.